The reason your music is boring, let's get to it. Lack of exciting transitions. I've been doing a music feedback stream for 6+ years now, and this is a mistake that really bothers me because it's a little lazy. Now, usually this one until you have a track where you're trying to transition from, let's say, the first part of the drop to your second. And what a lot of people will do is they'll have something like this. And then they'll just get rid of the drums. And then
falling into your gravity.
Okay. And yeah, and then you want to add like the little cashmere fill.
Falling into your gravity.
Hell yeah.
Okay, now my issue with this is one, a lot of the times it sounds very out of place. Two, it also tells me that, you know, maybe the producer is around beginner to intermediate range. For me, transition should be all about gaining the attention of the listener back. When people listen to music, a lot of the times they can space out. They like your track, but you need to get their attention back. For example, here I'm going to be in the first part of the drop, and I've executed this transition to get to the second part, which should increase the energy level. I could have just gotten rid of the drums and used another cashmere fill there, but instead I decided, okay, I want to look at what song I have. I want to look at the sounds, and from there, is there anything I can automate, anything that fits with the song to create a moment? Now, when you execute your moments as well, another mistake that leads to transitioning is that you'll do your little thing, but everything around that moment that you're trying to create, it pretty much doesn't care. It stays sounding the same. It's sort of like there's someone getting shot over there and they're just like, just fucking walking. In this scenario, what I've decided to use the sick fool sound, which is going to be a very... to create a moment. Now you can see I'm automating 3 things. You can see some of the EQ automating. So again, put effort into this stuff. Now, as this happens, everything around the track needs to respect this moment. What that means is the voice shouldn't be going, falling into your gravity. Your drums shouldn't be blasting. Like, everything should go, oh, this guy is coming in hard. Let's move out the way. The looping sound. Now, again, I do a music feedback stream every single Thursday. This is one that I hear a lot, and trust me, the moment I hear it, I don't shut up about it. I'm like, that pad is still there?
2 hours.
Oh, holy shit, the pad is still there. Now, usually the mistake will entail a pad. For instance, in this track, I do have one, and you can see it's definitely there for a good minute, but it's not there the whole time. I mean, I swear, guys, the pad will always be there. So that's the looping sound. They put a sound all the way through, which pretty much kills any form of energy, any form of change. Like, the track is doing all this stuff, and this damn pad is just... Now, some of you guys might think I'm overreacting about this, and I'm not. This is a crisis that is occurring, and I gotta tell you guys,
if you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.
Ease up. There's better ways to create texture and ambience. For example, there's a lot of really crazy plugins out there that you can utilize to create ambience. For instance, one of my favorite ones is Portal. It is what it is. I'll use the presets. Frank don't care. A little intermission. If you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit like and subscribe as well. If you want to support the channel, make sure to go to evilsounds.com. You can find all of my sound design work. My presets have been used by the likes of James Hype, A-Lock, Hardwell, Space 92, Umic. The list goes on. And I never pay for testimonials. These are people that go out of the way to let me know that they enjoy using my sounds. And again, guys, I always value your support. Just a little bit of social proof there for those of the guys that care about testimonials. But other than that, let's get back to the video. Not enough contrast. Now, during my production career, guys, there was a time where I was like, I'm getting my mixes to sound right. I'm getting the best sounds I can make. I'm a good sound designer. What is missing in my music? kind of realized that I got caught up in the sauce for too long, that I kind of put off learning songwriting, learning how to create moments in a track, learning how to create contrast. Now, notice how when we go into this section here, which is going to be a mini break to introduce the second drop, a lot of the drums kind of go like, oh shit, you know, like we got to back off here. Okay. And that's the point. Okay. So for instance, you know, it's not as filled up with drum loops because that's what tech house is. Hey, I don't have an ego. I'll be the first to admit. But again, you do leave a couple, but most of them go away. Now, how would this sound like if I just decided to say F it? And again, not create contrast in this section between the mini fill and the rest of the track. Well, this is what it would sound like. Because there's no contrast. You're giving me everything I want, and you're not making me go like, oh man, I can't wait for those drums to come back. But here's another thing. One of the biggest things to create in a track, again, is the contrast. At the same time, is getting the listener's attention and keeping them interested. So using your breaks to do something that you don't really hear in the drops is another great technique that you can use. Pax does it a lot, and there's of course Chris Lake that do a lot of these crazy things in their breakdowns that you don't really hear on the drops. Those are, again, that's contrast. You're breaking up the drum loop and the bass on the drop to go into these moments. No soy tuyo ni orgullo, no sea bruto, papi. No es tu problema, no te quema, no tengas pena, papá. Piensa lo que quiere y no me importa, que no soy asquerosa, soy asquerosa. Lack of tension and release. Now, one of the things that I envy on the really good trance guys is their execution of tension and release. But at the same time, they have a lot more arsenal than tech house or, you know, more tech producers to create moments in a song where you get goosebumps. Okay. Now, tension and release is something that as a producer, it doesn't matter what kind of music you make, you're going to need in your track, or else it's a boring track. Now, tension is the feeling of knowing something's going to happen, but you don't know when and you don't know how it's going to happen, but you know you're going there. Now, the job of the producer is to create the tension, execute the release, and do the release in a very satisfying way where it can incur goosebumps in the listener. This is part of the moments in songs you hear where you kind of feel a little sense of euphoria from listening to music. You get the goosebumps. That's proper tension and release. It's a technique that you need. So I'm not going to say I'm a pro at it, but I do know the theory behind it. So if you're not doing it in your music, then big issue. Now I'll show you guys the first thing, what most people will do and what you shouldn't do. Okay, they just go straight into it. They don't really care. They don't do a little bit of foreplay. You know how important that stuff. No, but you get my point. It's just given to you. There's no tension. They're just all released there. So creating tension is simple. One note, a lot of atmosphere. People know something's going to happen. And for me, this creates enough tension to get it going. No harmony. Just a lot of atmosphere, ad-lib vocals. And now we're going to release it with this gnarly automation. I did get goosebumps, but I am going to say this is probably not where it needs to be, but the idea is there. So again, as you're hearing this, you might probably go like, I've heard stuff like this before. And I do remember at a rave, like I felt this way. You know, that's what I mean about tension and release. Lack of moments in your track. Okay, now moments in the song are pretty much going to be the spot where you're either one, yes, oh. It's going to be a very memorable part of the song. That you can think of it as the hook. You can think of it as that part that you remember in the song. Now, for us EDM guys that make dance music like drum and bass, or maybe trance or whatever, these moments will usually occur before a drop, during your break. Now, going back to the Falling Into Your Gravity song, hopefully no one steals my beautiful lyrics. Here's an example of a moment.
And me into the night.
Okay, that's one moment. It's unpredictable. It goes like do 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 do. People were expecting the drop to happen, but again, you're here with this. They're expecting into the night we go. Again, that's a moment. Another moment will be the break of the song where
Falling into your gravity. What is your sign? The stars align into the night. Walking in space. That must be your vibe. You and me.
that's a moment, as well as it's pretty much breaking the tension that was created in the bridge. So again, think of ways that you can do this in your music. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. Again, look at your song, look at the theme of it, and go, how can I make exciting moments in the song to keep the listener's attention, to give people goosebumps, and to make them feel special, because this is a love song, believe it or not. All right, guys, and that is going to be the end of the video. So in review, we have 5 things that is making your music boring. Lack of exciting transitions, not enough contrast, looping sound, the pad, I am reading off the list, by the way, lack of moments in the track, and lack of tension and release. These are big things that I recommend that if you didn't feel like you learned in this video how to do them, read about it. Devote time to your craft other than just learning how to make basses sound big and lumptious. And again, I promise you that eventually you will make music that you will be very proud of, that you will feel has energy and has emotions tied to it, make people feel a certain way. As always, guys, if you want to support the channel, make sure to head over to evilsounds.com. You can find all of my sound design work, as well as if you want to support my music, because a lot of you guys have been asking me to release the music I show in these tutorials. Well, I'm going to start doing it for you guys. So again, make sure to check out my Spotify. I do have another release coming, I believe September 30th. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a very big one, very poppy. That's the most I can say. And of course, this one we'll see. It's going to get done and we'll see if anyone wants to sign it. But other than that, peace out, much love, and you guys have a great rest of your day.
Into